So we're going to stay on this subject, guys, of time, and I want to talk to you about a couple things about how the scriptures describe to us time and calendars. Okay, both the book of Genesis and the book of Revelation give us information on time. When they do, the information they give us is a 30-day month. Okay. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it, but in pre-flood, in Genesis, you find that there are 150 days and 5 months. That's exactly 30-day months that took place. Now, it doesn't matter what calendar you use now. It will not come to exactly 30 days in a month for 5 months. You can't do it. The lunar calendar is 354 days in a year, 29.5 days in a month. The Enoch calendar has two 30-day months. The third month is 31. That calendar doesn't work. Certainly the Gregorian calendar fluctuates and would not also have a solar 30-day month. None of them work. Why? Something happened pre-flood, and the days were 360. Okay? It's important that we know the original design. And let's talk a little bit about that. And let's look at it from a prophetic or a priestly mindset. All right? Because this is significant. All right. So the first thing, in the order of priests, we have the 24 elders in the book of Revelation, right? In the house of David, they had priest courses of 24. So that's the first thing we must come to terms, is the importance of the number 24 in time. We have 24 hours in a day, and so if we start with 24, okay, and we look at a year, the priests would appear in their course twice a year. So we multiply 24 by 2, and we come to 48, all right? Now, what I'm doing, guys, is I'm breaking down to you the significant prophetic information that God's original design had in a 360-day calendar, okay? Now, these are weeks. So we have 24 weeks times 2 is 48 weeks. Now, what God did, guys, before Adam and Eve were even created, time was calculated according to this calendar, okay? So this isn't a Jewish thing. These are the Lord's feasts, and this is why. You have week feasts, right? And we know that there are 3 in a year. So if we add 3 to 48, we come to 51. Now these are weeks. So if we multiply those weeks by 7, and we come up with the days, we have 357 days. Okay, so again, God has instituted these in time, these feasts in time in the original creation. Now, the next thing we have is it's a 360-day year, but here we have 357. So what do we have? We have the day feasts. And there are 3. So we add 3, we come to 360. Now, we know that there are 7 total Jewish feasts, right? 3 are a week, 3 are days. But the Feast of Unleavened Bread overlaps with first fruits. They're on the same day. So we're not counting that here because they are the same day. But here you have the weekly feasts, and we have 3. Here you have the day feasts, and there are 3. That's why 360 is so important. Now, the other thing that's important for you to know is that the original creation, the earth had no seasons. The earth was on a straight axis, and there was no season. So God's covenant with Noah, was to institute seasons, at which point we add a day for the seasons. All right? And we have 4 seasons, and we add 4. Now we come to a 364-day calendar. Okay? So I'm going over all this to show you the significance and importance of a 364-day calendar. Okay? Now, let's shift gears. This is nothing new. If you follow this channel, we've gone over this before, but now in Daniel's timeline, guys, we have the significance of time in the next 2 years. So we know from the 9th of Av to the beginning of the tribulation period, or the Great Tribulation, is 790 days. Okay? So the 9th of Av was July 25th, 2015. Now we have 790 days. Now, if you go 50 days, you come to the Jewish Feast of Trumpets. Okay? Now, this happened just in September. Okay? So, now what we have is, if we subtract 50 from 790, so we have 790 minus 50, okay? We have 740 days, all right? Now, something else very important happened. There was a 2-day shift, so that Elul had 31 days, and they could not declare the Feast of Trumpets for 2 days. So now what we have is instead of the Feast of Trumpets being 50 days, it was 52 days. Okay? And so now what we do is we subtract another 2 days. And if we do that, we come up to 738. Okay? So this 2-day shift, guys, is very important. When you do the 364-day or Enoch calendar into 2016, you'll see the importance of this. Okay? It's all the lunar eclipses are going to align with feast days according to the Enoch calendar, not the Jewish calendar. We went over that before. But this number now leading to this great event, if you divide that by 2, actually no, before you divide that by 2, you have to do something else. Okay, there's another important thing you have to do, and you have to subtract 10. And I'll get to that in a minute. But when you do subtract 10, you come up to 728 divided by 2 equals 364. Hopefully that's this is all small. I'm hoping this all appears on the screen for you. Okay, 364 days. That's 2 years according to the 364-day Enoch calendar. So everything is going to appear in time according to this calendar, not the Jewish calendar. So you might ask, all right, Leland, what is the 10 days? Why did you do that? The reason I did 10 days, guys, is that what's going to happen when you go 364 days, okay, that's going to bring you to the Feast of Trumpets in the year 2017. Okay? Now, when you get to the year 2017, what's going to happen is this. The Enoch calendar is going to have Daniel's timeline in the 790 days on the Day of Atonement. Day of Atonement is 10 days after the Feast of Trumpets. So that's what the 10 days is here. So what's going to happen, it's going to be, if memory serves right, it's September 12th. Okay? That is the Feast of Trumpets according to the Enoch calendar. So then what you do is you add 10 days to get to September 22nd. Okay? And that begins the tribulation period. All right? But guys, interesting enough, that day, September 22nd, 2017, is the Feast of Trumpets according to the Jewish calendar. So this date is very, very significant. September 22nd, 2017. So they're going to say that date is the Feast of Trumpets. They're going to say it's Rosh Hashanah, but it's not. It's going to be the Day of Atonement. Okay? So that's what the 10 days is. All right? Now, this is important, guys, because all the events and things that are going to take place in these next 2 years are going to be according to a 364-day calendar. They're going to be precise things. They're going to be related to the sixth seal, and these are critical that we understand the change in times and seasons in this calendar. So guys, this has been right. I've told you about this for a year, and it's now happening. So again, I encourage you to get a copy. I'll put it in the description field. But I want you to know the next 2 years are critical. I'm going to spend some more time on this. But this is why. Because we are monitoring these 790 days. Now, if you're wondering how I came up to that number, I have Daniel's timeline in another video, and I'll put that also in the description field for you guys, okay? So that's it for this one, guys. I wanted to do a quick video, get you this information, the importance of time. In the book of Revelation, we know that there are times it mentions 1,260 days. That is exactly 3.5 years according to a 30-day month. And a 30-day month is a 360-year calendar. But that's what we're doing. We're coming to terms with that. There is a difference. Now we have seasons, so we must account for those days when we look at the feasts. Okay? So guys, comment, let me know if you have any questions, and we'll have some more soon, okay?